All right, so we're Group 7, and we wanted to start off our talk on unions by giving some personal experiences on how not knowing about unions, like even if you're not part of one, you've probably experienced some of the benefits from unions, like the wages that we have right now and certain labor laws. Those are all things that unions have fought for, but sometimes we don't know about them.
Yeah. So one of the things that I found in my own life is the differences between my mother's work, her career, and my father's. My father is blue collar; he's electrician, non-unionized, and my mother works at a community college, so she has a state union working on her contracts and people who come and help her with benefits and everything else. And so I've seen what happens when, like, one person has like a unionized job and it's like it's in your contract. Everything can go back to the contract. If you're having a problem, you go into the contract and you bring it up with someone maybe above your boss, maybe a representative. There's a whole office for that. Versus my dad having like misconceptions about unions, about how they were kind of just taking money out of his pocket because he didn't feel that the benefits he was getting were worth the union prices, because his job as an electrician really does like have its highs and lows, especially when the recession hit.
Yeah, definitely. And then I've never personally been active in a union and like with any of my jobs, but Duran, you said you also didn't know about a union that you were part of.
Yeah, I used to be part of the same union that actually Surge is part of, and I didn't know what a union was until somebody explained it to me. But I was too young at the time to understand it, and during this process of going through this group, I've learned a lot about the unions, and the site visit taught me a lot about how they represent you, even when you can't represent yourself. So that was a huge benefit for me. And I'm not part of a union right now, but I honestly believe that one day, when I get a career job, I'm going to try to get into one.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, actually I have a cousin that works at McDonald's, and I'm pretty sure it's not unionized. And like for example, she works Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and she works until 2 a.m. and she often doesn't get breaks. And I even tell her like, why don't you get these breaks? And she always mentions that she will get them the following day, but she just doesn't. And to me, that's exploitation. And some people need to be aware that they have the rights. They should like get their breaks and be treated well.
Yeah, I used to be a manager for fast food in the past, and that, I mean, what you just said, it does happen a lot, and that is because, we manage, they tell us, you need to get hours sometimes, and sometimes, you don't have enough personnel to actually give the others breaks, and you're always breaking the law, right. And those are labor laws, that if these people were unionized, they could file a grievance against, the manager or the entity itself, to make sure that they get their breaks. Now I don't work at fast food. I work for the state, and I am part of a local 1000. I didn't know much about unions before, but now, after, we visiting, doing our site visit and digging more into what unions do, I'm really comfortable of being part of a union because they actually look after my own interest. Of course, I have to pay a due, but that is worthwhile. It's a good benefit. It's a good investment. Also, I had the opportunity about a few weeks ago to go to a union rally. There were different unions together coming to support Gavin, the new governor, and that was really interesting to know that there are political figures out there, in the political arena that actually are in favor of unions, and Gavin is one of those.
Yeah, and it's really crucial, I think, to have lawmakers who are going to bring that into the public light, as well as just educating people about the benefits, because sometimes they'll think, I'm in this low-paying or service job, and so that's just how things are supposed to be. But really what unions do is it gives them the tools and it gives them the outlet. Especially one thing that I found really interesting was for undocumented workers. One thing that we found out that our site visit Unite Here Local 11 does is they provide the tools for people who might be afraid to come forward with these facts. So unions, the biggest strategy into getting people to see their benefits is to educate them about their power.
All right. All right.
you.
Thank you.